Hello, I am Vanessa Konecki, and I am a business strategist, a social media coach, and a dog mom. And I've worked with thousands of business owners over the last several years to help them get control of their businesses and their life so that they can have more of both and feel like there's a balance and that they're not feeling guilty when they're working and guilty when they're not. One of the more common problems that I see with entrepreneurs is that you are so passionate about your business and so devoted that figuring out what's wrong with what's going wrong in your business can be kind of like finding a needle in a bunch of other needles. It can be very overwhelming and feel like an impossible task. And as human beings, when we don't know what the problem actually is, we usually give ourselves two choices. Either we keep going the way we have been, or we just give up on the thing altogether, or whatever it is. We're just like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. But today I want to offer you a third option. And that's the option where, using the quiz like you just did, you identify the problem and you go down a road of very specifically selected tasks to break down the barrier that's holding you back and move forward in your business so you can get your message out there. I want to start by telling you a story about my first Duran Duran concert 20 years ago. Picture it. Boston. You're at the Orpheum Theater. A young Pakistani girl has just moved to Boston, 1997. It is my first Duran Duran concert. I am in the Orpheum Theater, and it is an old theater with gilded pillars, just beautiful, beautiful architecture, and fantastic place to see a band. I think it's gorgeous, and it's tucked away, right? So I go to see Duran Duran there. I am a college student, so I can't really afford to buy, really good seats. So I had these nosebleed seats, like way, way up in the back. And so the concert starts and we're having a really good time and everything's fantastic. And I'm listening, and then I'm rocking out to friends of mine. And I said they were friends of mine. And then what? There was silence. The sound had gone, like all the sound. The lights were on, but the sound was completely gone. And so I look down and the band is still playing, right? But I can't hear anything. It's possible that people in the front row could hear, but I couldn't hear anything. I was too far up. So I'm out there and I'm like, well, I don't understand what's happened, right? So the guy comes out on stage, whispers into Simon Le Bon's ear. Turns out the PA system, the amplifiers, they had all shot out, right? So the amplifiers were broken. So imagine this. You're in an area, right? You're in a space with a captive audience that wants to be there. They're excited to be there. They're looking forward to what is going to be delivered. The product that's going to be delivered is the music. And suddenly there is no sound. So even though the person is there, which is the band, Duran Duran, the product is there, which is their music, the audience there, which is us, the vehicle to get the sound to us is missing. I can't hear it. And so their voices aren't being amplified to get them to us. Your business is not unlike this situation. So when you think about it, right, you're sitting in the Orpheum, which is social media. So you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. This is an area with 2.6 billion users. Your audience is there. You have an amazing product. You have a lot of value to offer. And when you start your business, you start off with a bang, woof, just like Duran Duran did. It starts off with da 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 da, hungry like the wolf. It just starts, and I'm like, yes, right? Fantastic. Everybody's excited. And then somewhere in between going live and doing the dishes, somebody turned your amplifiers off. And now your message isn't getting out there, okay? And you're not sure what to do. There's one difference between flipping the switch on the amplifier at the Orpheum and what we're about to do, which is that the skill sets that you need to build a business as a startup are very different from the skill sets that you need to sustain, maintain, and grow a business once you were already started. It's why most businesses fail after 5 years, because the business owner in question will start with the skill sets necessary to start a business, but will never move into that space where they learn the lessons necessary to grow the business and keep it going in the long term. That's what I'm here to help you with, is to flip that switch back on and do it in a way that will help you to grow your business. The issue that we run into as business owners is that depending on our lives, our experiences, our skill sets, and what we bring to the table, where we start to turn on the amplifier will be different for each of us. Because we're built off of decades of experiences and skill sets and learning and education, Right now in our minds, in terms of the things that we know and what we're doing, it's full of information. It's like all over. And some of it you don't even know, you're not even sure if you can access it, right? It's complete and utter chaos. Fortunately, that is where my skill set comes in and why this quiz is going to be so helpful for you. My area of expertise at the hospital was to take these gigantic research financial endeavors that had fallen into chaos and wrangle some sort of order out of them. Since then, I've helped thousands of business owners do the same. Untangling messiness is kind of my jam, and it's going to be your jam soon too. After you go through this email series, you're going to be saying things like Kim, who says that the exercises that we have walked her through have helped her to take time off and focus on herself and her family because she has everything scheduled out in advance already. So she's not worried about what she needs to work on because it's already done. Or Crystal, who's been able to cut her work week down by 2/3 so that she's only working 10 days out of the month and then spends the rest of her time with her family. This is what you can get by taking these small, deliberate steps towards untangling the chaos in your business and breaking through some of those barriers that are holding you back so that you can start to amplify your voice. So now, without further ado, let's go check out your quiz results and learn all about you and the problems that you're facing right now in your business. The main issue you're facing is that you are drowning under an avalanche of activities. As women, we have a tendency to say yes to things without really thinking through how that's going to fit into our day or our lives, or how it's going to impact us emotionally, physically, or temporally in terms of our time. As a result, we often find ourselves overwhelmed with things to do and not sure how to fit everything in. Where do these activities come from? In order for us to figure out how to stem the flow of activities coming in, we've got to figure out where they're coming from. Where are these holes in the ship that are flooding the activities in? Okay, so we have household maintenance, which includes dishes and laundry, things like that. Sleep, interface with customers, driving from one place to another, redoing something, going back to somewhere, double checking something because whatever was done the first time went wrong. Yes, this happens so much that it needs its own line item. Administrative tasks, paying bills, organizing, finding things, marketing, social media, graphics, copywriting, nutrition-related activities, showering, bathing, gym, meditation, appointments, which, scheduling or attending them, events like parties, concerts, dinners, etc. If you even go to those things, shows, favors for friends. Look at my resume, check out this link. Can you do this? Can you look at this really quick? Check out this email, that kind of thing. Not all of these are work related, but they are life related. And life related things take time. Now, the essential problem that we have is how we approach the time, right? We're talking about our perspective on time. We believe in the concept of work-life balance, which is the actual problem. When you say work-life balance, right? If you think about the concept work-life balance, we say it as if that's a thing that's been around forever. We don't consider the fact that it is a Gen Xer. If work-life balance as a concept was a human being, it would be in my generation. It would be a Gen X. It's very, very young. Prior to us, there was no concept of work-life balance prior to this generation because there is no such thing as work-life balance. For your business to be successful, it needs to be integrated into your life in a sustainable way, not thought of as a separate entity that needs to be balanced with your life. The thing about work-life balance is that it's given us a lot of tools, but all of those tools are schedule management tools. They're not life management tools. And the concept of work-life balance puts us in a position where by default, we're always feeling guilty about whatever it is that we're not doing. So if you're working, you're feeling guilty because you're not with your family. If you're with your family, you're feeling guilty because you're not working. The tools you learn this week will help you to buy a lot of time for yourself. What you choose to do with that time is entirely up to you. But I do want to caution you. Work is like water, which means that if you open up time in your life by being more organized, it's going to expand to fill the space that you've opened up. So be sure to be thoughtful and deliberate about whatever choices you make about what to put in this free time that you've created to make sure that you are not making the same mistake again by creating a lot of time for yourself and then replacing it with more work, only now it's just a different type of work. You will create the time that you work. You will create the time that you're not working. You will select the work that goes into that time intentionally. And when that work is done, then you are free to do whatever you want guilt-free. This is how thousands of women have built their businesses in a way that allows them to have both a business that they love, but also have enough free time to be able to spend with their families and enjoy the life that they're working so hard to build. Imagine that. Imagine having the freedom that you originally built your business for in the first place. So I don't want to keep you from that freedom any longer. So head over to your email, and right now there is an email in your inbox that will get you started on this journey.